Hello there, welcome back to my channel. It's James here, hope you're doing okay. I have got some plants to show you today. This is my sort of haul from January this year. Despite my best intentions, I somehow managed to buy a similar amount, if not more plants than I usually buy. That said, I have gotten rid of a lot, and I'm continuing to get rid of a lot, selling, giving away, whatever, just to make a bit more space for the interesting plants that I am looking to add to my collection in the near future. This is not every plant that I got during this month, but I selected 10 of the ones that sort of leapt out at me when I was looking through all the plants, just because otherwise this video would probably be like half an hour long, which is a little bit excessive. So we're going to move through it quite quickly. One of these plants you've already seen, two of them are not aroids. There is a Hoya, there is a cycad, very exciting. Otherwise pretty much aroids. Yeah, what a surprise. So we're going to jump straight into it with a very exciting little pot that I got from my brother. You saw it there. I'm going to show you straight away. My brother is into Pokemon quite a lot. I also enjoy Pokemon, but this is a little Bulbasaur pot that he got me for Christmas, which I enjoy. And in its back is a little Philodendron Rio, which is a sport of the Philodendron Brazil, if you have seen that before. This plant I got in a plant swap from a friend of mine, and I love it. It was just a one leaf cutting, a one node cutting, but it's already put out a second little leaf there that you saw before, and I am appreciating it very much. It has quite hefty variegation, so I think it's going to be quite a slow grower, as you can see there. Basically just in moss, just in the same conditions as all my other aroids, basically. High humidity, relatively high warmth, not so high at the moment actually because the heating has not been working, so it's probably been around sort of 15 degrees at the most at the moment, and they're all doing okay. There's new growth and everything, so things are going well. Okay, not an aroid. Here we have a Hoya. This is a very exciting one. I got a few different Hoya during this period, but this is the one that I'm most excited about. This is a Hoya Michele, and it is very reminiscent to me of like the Carnosa Grey Ghost, those sort of highly splashed plants that are very sought after. And I really appreciate it. It did have a lovely runner coming up here, but I cut it to propagate it, and as you can see, it just rotted, and it's not doing too well. So hopefully that doesn't impact anything else. I can actually see some roots coming up through the soil from where I potted it in not very well. So it's still alive, which is good. It is just one leaf though, and a little bit of like nodey tissue under the soil, but it's nice. Hoya Michele, very happy with that. It's a cultivar. I don't know specifically what it's crossed with, but it's nice. Okay, next one for January you've seen before, but I wanted to show you with a little bit of better lighting because the video I did specifically about this plant, the lighting was very bad. So this is my variegated billietiae. Someone told me how to pronounce it à la française, but I decided just keep saying what I said before because why not? Yeah, it had a little bit of browning on the top of that leaf, so I cut it away, and it is doing very well. It is absolutely stunning. Crown jewel at the moment of my collection. I'm loving it very, very much. And it seems pretty okay. I haven't actually checked its roots yet. I'm nervous to disturb this potting mix, but I'm very watchful of the leaves, so if anything starts to happen, if they start getting limp or brown and beyond that point that I cut off, I will definitely take it out and have a little peek. Very nice. Okay. Next plant is one that I've been after for a long time, and I'm very excited about it. So you may or may not know Aroid Apartment on Instagram. She has a page on Instagram, obviously. She has a shop where she sells exciting aroids that she gets imported from somewhere. And I saw this about a month and a half ago, maybe? Yeah, about a month and a half ago, so like just before Christmas period. And I decided that it had to be mine. It had to be mine because I've been trying to find one for literally ever, and here it is. Oh, I'm starting to see the splash on the leaves. So exciting. So this little sort of thing that doesn't really look like very much is a Philodendron Majestic, which is a hybrid of a Philodendron verrucosum and a Philodendron sodiroi. Both of which I already have in my collection, but I wanted to get this one. It's got such a characteristic leaf shape and texture and colour. I'll put a little picture up somewhere here so you can see what I'm talking about. It is a very, very interesting plant. This cutting, the one I initially ordered, Marianne, I think her name is, she contacted me from the shop and said, this cutting that you ordered hasn't really started to root yet, so I've got another one if you want this one. And it has amazing roots. So I said, sure, send me that one. And she did. And I decided to take it out of this pot just to see what she meant about amazing roots. And they're literally like a foot long. So I'm very happy with this. And I'm sure that as the weather gets a little bit warmer, it will start to really put on some growth quite fast because its root system is already established. So that's really, really great. I would definitely recommend buying from her if you haven't already seen her page. Do it. I don't think she ships outside of Europe though. Not that we're in Europe anymore. Okay, next one. This is a relatively common philodendron, I think, for some parts of the world. Not overly easy to come by in the UK at the moment. That will probably change at some point because it seems like an easy grower. This is a Philodendron brandtianum. I've never actually said that before. It's kind of cool. I always saw it around the internet and then was never overly drawn to it just because of like, I don't think it's as pretty as like a corduroy in this form. It's just like a little bit, there's something missing. And then I saw what the plant looks like when it matures and when it's climbed up something and when the leaves have reached a sort of slightly more mature form. I'll just show you that if you haven't already seen one. It's very beautiful and it has a lovely new leaf coming through there. But finishing what I was saying before, when this plant climbs, it actually gets leaves that are super like reminiscent of a melanochrysum leaf, that sort of elongated, long, dark leaf with the silver splashing on it is absolutely ridiculous. If you haven't seen one before, I'll put a picture up so you know what I'm talking about. Let's put it here. Have a little look. It's amazing. It's fabulous. So yeah, I highly doubt that this will grow into that form under the conditions I have it in here. I don't have enough space for it to climb high enough. But just the sort of idea that somewhere within these genetics is the possibility to reach that incredible form makes it more appealing to me. So I have one and we shall see. Maybe I'll be able to get it bigger. Maybe I won't. Right, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 plants already. We have 5 to go. So this is another one I got from our department. This is a very interesting little Anthurium. First Anthurium. Only Anthurium that I have here today. This is an Anthurium peltigerum, which is a sort of round-leafed Anthurium, very similar to the Philodendron. It doesn't have that sinus at the top of the leaf. I've read a couple of conflicting things, but I think it's one of only 3 peltate species of Anthurium, which means that there are only 3 species that don't have that sinus at the top. I may be wrong. I read that in a couple of places, but then I read something else conflicting in another area, so I'm not 100% sure. If you know better, please let me know. But there aren't too many Anthurium that look like this anyway. Because that new leaf, I think, suffered very slightly from shipping. It's kind of not really hardening, and it's a little bit yellowed towards the center. But these older leaves are just, like, incredible. They're like little, I think they're also called tortoiseshell Anthurium or something, because you can kind of tell why. They're just very, very textured. They're almost velvety, which I wasn't expecting at all. And they've got quite pronounced veins, which is always something I appreciate. Yeah, this is the Anthurium. Relatively easy to care for, I think. I'm just treating it the same as all my other Anthurium. It had quite healthy roots when it arrived. I love her potting medium, the stuff she shipped it in. It's just delightful. It's like Hoya, is that it? Hoya, yeah. And sphagnum and all the bits, and it's just really, really, I appreciate it. It's nice. Okay, let's move on to the cycad. This little guy is the only cycad I have, and since I got it, I've been sort of a little bit obsessed with them. This is a Dioon Edule, which means something like 2-egged because of something. I can't remember, but look it up if you like it. It comes from this kind of like chestnut-like seed. I think another name for it is a chestnut Dioon, or chestnut cycad or something like that, because it sort of looks like a chestnut. Very slow growing, apparently. Very interesting plants, cycads. They're like some of the oldest plants that there are. And they're also relatively, some of them are relatively endangered. After getting this, I went to the Palm House in Kew and just kind of perved on all their cycads. They've got some really nice ones there, some impressive plants, like hundreds and hundreds of years old. So if you ever get the opportunity to go to Kew, go check out their cycads. They're very nice. Yeah, I don't know what it is about them. They're so appealing. I really wasn't drawn to them at all until I got this. I got this from the same friend who gave me this at our plant swap, and I am very excited about it. If you have any care tips, please let me know, because I've kind of looked into it and there's not really very much information. I don't know whether I want to keep it like a little bit moister in the soil or a little bit drier. It's got a very chunky mix at the moment, so I'm just kind of watering it at a similar rate as I'm watering sort of my Hoya, and just hoping for the best. It's not showing any signs of distress at the moment, but then again, I don't know if it would. It seems like quite a hardy plant. We'll move on. Nice little cycad. 3 more plants to go. Let's show you a sad plant, because everyone so far has been relatively happy, has been sort of working relatively okay. This is a Philodendron plowmanii. I think it's plowmanii. It's actually super impressive in pictures. In the camera, it looks really, really nice. It's very interesting. So I've seen plowmanii with silver markings. I've seen them without silver markings. I don't know what that means, whether they're hybridized with something. I haven't looked into it enough. But the sort of thing that I have been told to look out for to tell if it's a plowmanii is the red ripples on the petiole. So there's like little, you can kind of tell if I bring it close, really pronounced red ruffles to either side of that petiole. And that is one of the distinguishing factors. When it arrived, I was like, is this just a mame or is it something different? It definitely doesn't look like a mame. I have a mame. It's quite distinct, like the texture of the leaves, the shape of the leaves is very different. And the sort of coloration, this is very like deep. Yeah, I might just compare them afterwards and see. So it arrived, it came from Poland. It's not doing super, super well. The roots seemed relatively okay. I have a feeling that this was just a plant that was bought from Equigenera, I don't know, it's that online plant shop. Was just bought from them and then shipped out immediately. So I don't know how happy it is. I think it's probably had a lot of transport within the past few months. But I am trying my best to help it. It's quite dry at the moment just because it was like rotting quite quickly, like it's lost its growth point here to rot. This leaf here, it had another leaf here and it just rotted and fell off. So I'm being a little bit cautious with it, letting it dry out a little bit at the moment. And if worst comes to worst, I'll cut it and propagate it. But I hope I don't have to, because it's very, very nice. I really enjoy it. So if you have the space and you like this kind of deep, glossy, textured philodendron, heart-shaped, obviously, I would go for this. It's one of my favorites, I think. It has even more sort of character than like a gloriosum. Yeah, I really, really like it. Okay, we have 2 more plants to do. So both of these are variegated. This second to last plant is a Syngonium, our only Syngonium of the morning. This is a Syngonium podophyllum with yellow variegation, which is slightly unusual. I got this off eBay, off a seller who's just started, I think. Maybe not, but I've only just become aware of his sales, and I am pleasantly surprised. It arrived very well packaged, and importantly, it arrived with a plant passport, which is a new big deal in the UK. And it's the only seller so far that has been providing those to me. I have not yet gotten to the bottom of it. I'm still doing my research, trying to understand whether or not I need to be using them. Where I'm at the moment, I think I do, if I'm selling anything at all. So that is something I have to get on top of within the next couple of months if I want to carry on clearing out my collection a little bit. If you don't know anything about it, I'd recommend looking into it. I'll try and put some links down below so that there's some information there for you. But yeah, it's just super cool. It's something I've started seeing around more recently. It seems like this is sort of supplanting, can you say that? It's sort of dethroning, usurping, those are good, the white variegated Syngonium, and I kind of prefer it, honestly. I have a white variegated Syngonium as well, and it's been such a fussy plant. I don't know why. It's supposed to be an easy plant. Of everything I have, it's even fussier than like my Patriciae or my Heterocrespedum. It's just like, it doesn't want to grow. So hopefully I have more luck with this one. I think I will. It looks pretty good. Yeah, and the seller said that it's likely to get a fair amount of variegation, which always fabulous. There we go. Okay, the last plant we've got is maybe slightly controversial. This is a verrucosum, Philodendron verrucosum, and it's variegated. So I've seen a few of these around, not with variegation that looks like this. Oh, it's so pretty in the camera. It's like lime green and textured and like flecked. So it's like got dark green and white within that variegation. So I've seen a few around. None of them have that same pattern. A lot of them are very splashed, so you'll have like a plain green leaf with sort of dashes of white or paler green within it. I've never seen one with such a chunk of variegation like that. It does have a slight amount of variegation in the stem, which kind of makes me think that it's not just like just a fluke in that leaf. I kind of am hoping that it was running through the stem, which is why they cut these plants and propagated them. I can kind of see, if I bring it close, in that new growth point, there's kind of a line where the red stops and it sort of turns white, and then around the other side it turns red again. I don't know if that's just the nature of the cataphyll or whether that is a sign that there is variegation in there as well. I've heard some things about this plant. This is the controversial part of it, that the variegation in verrucosum is only caused by a form of mosaic virus. I'm not sure about that. I have not seen enough convincing information about that. And to me, this variegation looks nothing like mosaic virus. I think they were saying that it's cabbage mosaic virus that's most commonly found in verrucosum. I don't know. To me, it looks very, very distinctly like variegation in my other plants. At the moment, I'm keeping it slightly separated from everyone, just in case something horrible happens. But I'm not overly worried about it. I think this is just genuine mutation within the plant. So all I can do is hope that it carries on growing like that it kind of carries on moving through the leaves, and that it doesn't kill all my plants, because that would be a disaster. But I don't think it will. If you have any information about this, please let me know. I'd rather be working from a point of knowledge than a point of ignorance. So thank you very much. That is it. This was kind of a hectic video. I'm sorry, I've been a little bit bad with these recently. I started a series and then literally haven't done anything with it since then, but it is my intention to get back into that. It's just been a little bit hectic recently. But yeah, I'm very much enjoying the plants still, so they're going to keep coming. Yay! Yeah, let me know down below what plants you're waiting for, how your January went, whether you sort of stuck to your winter no buys or whether you just bought things anyway. If you want to see more of these plants, you can go follow me on my Instagram at slugplants. As always, I'll pop it right here. And if you want to see more videos like this as they come, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon, and I will see you soon. Thank you very much for watching. Bye!